Hi Year 9, I'm going to talk you through GCSE History. So we'll start off with what do we study. So at GCSE History we study 3 papers. The first one is all about crime and punishment. The second one looks at Elizabeth and the Cold War. And the final one looks at Weimar and Nazi Germany. So we'll break this down into the brief overview of the content. So paper 1 is worth 30% of your GCSE, and this is on crime and punishment, and it will be assessed through a written exam which is 1 hour and 15 minutes long. In this unit you will look at crime and punishment from Anglo-Saxon England all the way up to present day, looking at how crime, punishment and law enforcement has changed across time and what things we still keep from the Middle Ages and what things we have changed and why. This is part of the breadth study, so the questions you will get will ask you to assess continuity and change over time. The other part of this paper is linked to Whitechapel, which is the section A of this paper, and we look specifically at the Jack the Ripper murders and why he was never caught. Paper 2 is split into 2 completely different topics, but they're assessed in the same paper. This is worth 40% of your GCSE. So the first part of paper 2 is on Elizabeth I, and the second part is on the Cold War. This will be assessed through a written exam, which is 1 hour and 45 minutes long. In the Elizabeth section, you look at the depth study of Elizabeth I. We will look at the challenges she faced as Queen. You will look at how she tried to solve those challenges and how she ended up getting into huge conflict with foreign countries such as Spain and how she works to resolve those. The Cold War will look at the tensions between the Soviet Union and America following World War II, and you will look at how the tension between these countries grew and developed into the Cold War, looking at the causes, the key events, and then the consequences of the Cold War. Finally, paper 3 looks at Nazi Germany, which is worth 30% of your GCSE, and this is a written exam of 1 hour 20 minutes. In this unit, you will look first of all at the Weimar Republic and the weaknesses of the Weimar Republic and how Hitler was able to exploit this. The second part of this paper looks at Hitler's rise to power, and the final part looks at Hitler as a dictator and what life was like in Nazi Germany. So the skills you will develop through studying history at GCSE. First of all, an understanding of world views. We make sure that we cover in the units that we teach a range of different topics and perspectives, so you get an understanding of what the world is like today. Tolerance. Analytical skills is something you will practice again and again and again, being able to think on your feet, formulate ideas and write those down in an analytical way. Debating. Understanding of past and present events, so particularly for the crime unit, you will understand how things that are happening today have been influenced by things of the past. Same with the Cold War, because it's very, very relevant and still has tensions existing today. Critical thinking, source analysis, interpretation, and essay writing skills, again something you will practice in every lesson. Finally, let's just have a look at some of the famous people you might recognise who have a history degree, which gives you an idea of why history is such a valuable GCSE to have, because it leads you into a whole range of careers. So the careers you could go in with a history, GCSE, A-level and degree, you can do almost anything. Law, journalism, teaching, social work, consultancy, the list goes on. Please come and speak to me if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to answer anything you may have, and thank you for listening.